Hi, this is Governor Pete Ricketts. Thank you, Werner Enterprises. It's an honor to be able to work with you to deliver this critical medical supplies to fight coronavirus here in our state. We're so fortunate to have somebody like Werner Enterprises in our backyard so that we can rely on their expertise and logistics to be able to deliver these masks and gloves. Last week it was 500,000 gloves. This shipment here is 97,000 N95 masks, and all of it goes to fight the spread of COVID-19 in our state. I also want to take this opportunity to thank all the truck drivers, mechanics, and office personnel at Werner Enterprises for all that you do to keep America moving and to keep Nebraskans healthy and safe. God bless you all, and God bless the great state of Nebraska.
Hello, everyone. Derek Leathers here. It's Friday, April 10th, and I want to give an update on where we stand with all of our plans and actions relative to COVID-19 and the company overall. You've seen the video from Governor Ricketts of Nebraska, congratulating Werner and all of our efforts to help the state of Nebraska procure, move, and deliver all of the needed N95 masks, gloves, and medical equipment for the healthcare professionals and first responders here in the state. We've done similar work around the country and will continue to make deliveries of needed relief supplies when called to action by the various medical professionals around the country that are looking for help to get things there on time and intact. And that's what we do for a living. You've continued to step up and do the great work this nation needs, and I want to thank all of you for that. It's a moment of great pride for us that we were able to participate in so many important projects over the last few weeks. To the drivers, thank you for continuing to focus on your health, your social distancing, and your hygiene overall to stay healthy. We've had an incredibly strong run with an incredibly low infection rate. In fact, with nearly 14,000 people here at Werner, as we stand today, we have a total of 7 people that have been impacted by COVID-19, at least as it relates to a positive test. We have a few others that are quarantined because they've come into contact with somebody or out of an abundance of caution with medical professionals' input. We're going to continue to stay socially distanced and focused on this throughout the crisis, but we're also going to keep America moving, and you're doing that amazingly every day, so thank you for that. I've had a lot of questions about supplies. We're working around the clock to continue to procure more and more supplies. Last week alone, we spent over $300,000 on hand sanitizer. We have all kinds of formats coming, 55-gallon drums, 5-gallon pails, 1-gallon drums, etc. Here's my ask of each of you. As you have empty hand sanitizer bottles, especially for those drivers out there that are over the road, don't throw the empties away. We have a variety of ways we might be able to help you fill them, but one of the difficult things is actually getting the containers themselves in the small format bottles that can fit in the cup holder in your cab. So hold on to those bottles. If you have empties at home and you go home this weekend, make sure you keep those as well. And we're going to try to keep people in stock of all of the needed gear. We've had a lot of questions about masks. In those municipalities or regions where masks are being required, we have masks on their way or already delivered. In the meantime, in almost every one of the cases, the actual requirement is a facial covering. It can be a bandana, it could be a cloth covering that you manufacture or produce in your cab. Really the point being, if it's required to cover your face, we want to make sure you do it, but we do have masks en route. One of the things we were able to do when we worked with the state of Nebraska was couple a very large-scale order of our own with the order that the state was making. The first masks to arrive were the N95 professional medical masks that need to go to first responders and medical professionals. But we have 50,000 masks arriving over the coming days that will be distributed immediately for our drivers and office personnel and others that want to have a mask on or feel more comfortable doing so. Gloves are going to be at the terminals and in many cases already are as well. We're going to continue to make those available for those that feel more comfortable. The one to watch out with gloves is, remember, even if wearing gloves, you still need to make sure and practice good hygiene with your hands and sanitize after each use. It's just as important as doing that as any protective covering you might put on your hands during the actual work you might be doing outside of the cab. To our mechanics, thank you. Thank you for all that you've done. You've continued to keep the trucks on the road, and I couldn't be more appreciative. I also want to mention one person specifically, and that's Marion Shin from our Shanghai office. When we were trying to help Nebraska and now other states procure needed medical essential equipment, Marion and our Shanghai office went into action. She's working with our team there and her contacts she's developed over time to help procure some of these needed and essential requirements, and doing a very, very good job. On the sanitizer front, we're procuring most of that locally. We're procuring every piece of equipment that we can locally, but we are leaving all of our options open to make sure and keep our fleet in constant supply. If you run into a situation where we're out at a particular terminal, just make sure it's known by everybody there. We are aware that as we continue to ship more out, it gets used fairly quickly. We're trying to stay in front of the wave, but at times it can be a challenge. Be patient with us. Make sure that you have what you need in your truck, and also make sure we're not hoarding within our fleet. So far, that's not been an issue. But yes, we are trying to keep to one bottle of sanitizer at a time, simply because we want to make sure that for anybody who hasn't yet obtained it or has just ran out, they can get refilled. And my last message is relative to a telehealth benefit we have at Werner. I want to make sure you're aware that the telehealth benefit is a zero copay option within your medical benefits. We've waived all copays and made it available so that if you have questions and want to talk to a medical professional, you can access the telehealth information on the Drive Werner app, or if you're in the office or available to call your dispatcher is easier, they can get you the information on WeConnect. It's out there. You'll need your member ID, but even that we can help walk you through if need be. We want to make sure we stay safe. So far, we're doing an incredible job. I've also stayed in contact with those drivers that have tested positive, as well as the one office associate that's working from home. Again, our count is extremely low, less than 0.001% of our fleet at this point, or of our company, I should say. And it's an incredible testament to the work you're all doing and the precautions you're all taking. Keep doing so. Let's not let our guard down, but let's make sure that everything we do is focused first and foremost on health, focused on safety as it always is, on-time service for our customers, because these goods are needed more than ever before as we keep America moving. Thanks again. We'll stay in touch. If you have questions, use the task force, the COVID-19 task force email, or when in doubt, send a message to askderek@werner.com. Hope you're well, staying safe, and enjoying to the best you can this Easter weekend. Take care.